Lisa Donovan, our lovely singer. And now, let's meet the star of our show, Ron
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Face the Music. We're in our championship game, which we play for $10,000 in cash around here. You'll see a famous person grow up right before your very eyes. But that comes later.
Battle of the Network shows. Join Rick Brooks and Mike Kogel as they explore the TV of the 70s and 80s through hand-picked episodes of their favorite and not-so-favorite series.
Welcome to another Battle of the Network shows. I'm Mike, and I'm here with Rick, and before we get started, we'll just send out, like so many podcasts do, a little request. If you want to say something nice about us on iTunes, or Apple Podcasts as they're calling it now, we'd appreciate it. Now we're going to start the show, which is a little different. We're going to talk about some game shows today. Rick has a little special thing cooked up for that.
I do? Yes, I do. That's right, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Battle of the Network shows. I'm Rick Brooks, of course, and I'm here with our returning champion, Michael Kogel. Mike, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks, Rick.
He's about to play the lightning round.
Ooh.
So, Mike, as you know, you have a limited amount of time to answer 5 questions, and if you get all those 5 questions correct, you'll win cash and prizes.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Start the clock now. What other 1980s network game show besides Sale of the Century did Jim Perry host?
Scrabble.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
I know.
Face the Music orchestra guitarist Tony Tedesco played on what iconic TV theme song?
Gilligan's Island.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect too. Renee on Sale of the Century, one of the contestants, was the voice of April in what 1980s animated series?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes! What cable network aired reruns of Face the Music in 1984 and 1985?
CBN.
That is correct. And finally, Sale of the Century hostess Summer Bartholomew won what popular national pageant in 1975?
Miss America.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Miss Teen USA.
I'm sorry.
Miss USA.
Stop the clock, please. I'm sorry.
Miss Colorado.
I'm sorry, Mike. You got 2 out of 5, which is a respectable showing, but not enough to win our
Miss
lightning
Big
round.
Hair.
Let's go back. What was that?
Miss Big Hair.
That's correct. Yes. No. She was Miss Big Hair in perpetuity, I believe. Let's go back and some of the ones you did not get. The other 1980s network game show besides Sale of the Century, which we're going to talk about today, was Card Sharks. Yes, the first version of Card Sharks, later hosted by Bob Eubanks and Real People host Bill Rafferty. Originally, that was Jim Perry doing Card Sharks. Face the Music actually had a rather accomplished set of musicians in its orchestra, which we'll talk about that orchestra, Tommy Oliver's famed orchestra. But he played guitar apparently on the theme song to Bonanza.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Bonanza. Yes, you had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, correct? And CBN did air Face the Music in 1984, 1985. And finally, Summer Bartholomew actually won Miss USA in 1970. Miss USA, yes.
Well, I almost got it.
Yes, you almost did eventually. Sort of came near to it, close, more or less. But close only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes, so...
That's correct.
You'll get some lovely parting gifts, but not our grand prize today.
All right.
So the 2 shows we're talking about are indeed Sale of the Century and Face the Music.
Uh-huh.
There's tons of game shows we could pick, and
yeah.
I happen to choose... Mike graciously let me pick these ones. And I picked these because these were ones I remembered growing up watching. And Sale of the Century, when it was on, and Face the Music, it was these reruns that were on CBN, and later actually USA Network showed them. We have like the original daytime morning game show, which Sale of the Century was on NBC, and then also a syndicated show that was 5 nights a week. And Face the Music sort of represents something else to me, which is the phenomenon and sort of our era, that we talk about on the podcast, the era of like sort of then lower rent cable networks, because remember USA wasn't really much of a big deal until the 1990s.
Right.
CBN was the Christian Broadcasting Network, like the national arm of that, and it wasn't really that big a deal. But I love the channel, which we could talk about. But these channels showing reruns of game shows as a staple of their afternoon programming, and boy, that's something you just don't see anymore. You get even Game Show Network doesn't show as many game shows in the afternoon. But so this is daytime programming, which is more than just cartoons. But and we've also talked about shows like Silver Spoon's Facts of Life being on in daytime mornings, and sort of reruns were a staple of daytime programming. But I thought it might be fun to talk about some of the game shows that we watched back in the day too. Yeah. Beyond just sort of the more famous ones like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Scrabble, yes. Scrabble is actually a very popular show, it seems like. Okay. I was never into that, but I remember my friends. I remember friends liking Scrabble.
I liked it briefly.
I'll
say I have like a weird, maybe not weird, just like my feeling about game shows is a little maybe different. That I don't quite get into them because like now, especially just like I feel like I'm wasting time when I'm like there's some feeling of like I shouldn't be doing this and part of it might just because they're sort of repetitive and some of it might be like memories of like especially during the summer instead of being outside like watching a game show and then getting kicked out of the house to go
wow
to go do something active.
Right. Why game shows as opposed to like cartoons that we've talked about, like G.I. Joe?
I think it was like the time of day,
Okay.
That sort of like 10 to noon sort of time of day when game shows were on.
Yeah.
Most like pre-soap opera, but post whatever, the Today Show or whatever.
Yeah, I think the original ones like Sale of the Century, if I recall correctly, was on like 10 or 10:30. I think 10 o'clock.
Okay.
But I remember like USA and CBN sort of running like afternoon blocks, which arguably is even worse because it's after lunch, and to me that's a more theoretically productive time of the day. It's during the afternoon after you've had lunch to go out and do something.
Yeah.
As opposed to 10 in the morning, you could sort of like reasonably argue maybe that, well, I just had breakfast a little while ago, might as well kick back and watch, Classic Concentration or whatever with Alex Trebek.
And Face the Music, that was originally syndicated?
Yes, that's correct.
I feel like that might have been on in the afternoon, and like on a UHF channel, like a 2 or 3 or something.
Yeah, I never saw Face the Music in its first run. I think it was paired with Name That Tune, and I don't think because it's the same production company that made those, and I don't think I saw Name That Tune either until reruns later.
Right.
Even though it was one of the more famous titles of a game show, but it didn't seem like it was actually on as much as I would think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got to Face the Music from, I believe, originally about 1980. And Sale of the Century is from the NBC version, which they did some format changes. So we watched one that was pretty early on, like within the first year or two of the run, I think. And before they tweaked the format a little bit.
Okay.
In later years. And they added the syndicated version, but I just want to get an NBC version just because I don't know why. But so, which would you like to talk about first, or would you like to talk more about your irrational hatred of game shows, or?
No, we can. Now today's game shows, I just kind of there's the added thing of just like the excessive drama of them. All the lights and the music and stuff that just makes these more appealing in a way. Like the plywood sets and everything are a lot more appealing than. There's
a definite lack of stagecraft, and especially Face the Music.
Yeah.
Face the Music is something. And by the way, I'm gonna both of these episodes we watched online, so I think they'll be available, for viewing when you hear this. But they haven't. Face the Music, I don't know if it's been on. Sale of the Century has been on Buzzer, the digital sub-channel, and I think that's where you stumbled upon an episode recently. Yeah. And so that one's been pretty visible, and Game Show Network has off and on showed Sale of the Century too, but Face the Music's probably a little rarer, I would think. But, one other thing I just thought of is the whole phenomenon of watching reruns of game shows.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's not the same quite as watching a live sporting event taped, an originally live sporting event. because I have problems doing that sometimes. But there's something kind of weird about watching like a 5-year-old game show. It seems like if you're watching like What's My Line from the 50s, that just seems far enough removed.
Yeah.
But to me, it seems odd that cable networks like program their day by just throwing out a batch of 5 to 10-year-old game shows.
Right.
I mean, USA was showing, like, in addition to stuff like this, they were showing like the original Make Me Laugh and Liars Club and like stuff from the 70s and like even older than this. But I remember those being on seemingly all the time.
I guess they're just cheap to, not just cheap to produce, but cheap to syndicate or to buy.
Yeah, I'm sure that,
rent,
which
whatever.
Kind of makes it all the more frustrating to me that somebody like Game Show Network, when they launched and in recent years wouldn't show stuff like this. They kind of stuck to showing the same things over and over again instead of kind of dipping into the library and playing some more rarities. But
do you think the Face of Music might like have music rights issues?
Yeah, I think that'd be big time. I mean, I don't know what the contracts were, but that could very well be a possibility. I mean, they're using tons of legitimate songs, and yeah, it seems like there'd be an ASCAP issue if nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe we should talk about Face the Music a little bit first.
Okay.
That seems to be the cheaper, the kind of more bizarre, the less conventional.
Yeah.
It was hosted by Ron Ely.
I was excited.
Yeah.
I was excited that I remembered that he was the host. So
Yeah.
Ron Ely, if you don't know, at least to me, best known for playing Tarzan in I guess it was a 60s series, but
I think late 60s, yeah.
But it was on in reruns all the time, at least into the mid 80s, right?
Yeah, I never saw that show growing up.
Yeah, it
like
was
I don't
on.
remember that being. I mean,
I think it was on every Saturday afternoon.
yeah, it may have been, but I didn't. I just didn't watch that one.
Okay.
So I knew Ron Ely from Face the Music, actually,
Yeah.
and I knew that he was Doc Savage in
Yeah.
the movie, which is I hadn't seen that movie until years later, but
Right.
I guess maybe that was one of his big movie roles too. But
And I saw he was in some version of Terry and the Pirates,
Terry and the Pirates,
which he wasn't a main. I don't know who he was, but he wasn't
yeah,
Terry.
yeah,
He might
that
have
I've
been
never
a
seen.
pirate. I didn't even know that existed.
There was like a 1950s version.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was in that.
One of his early roles.
Oh wow. So that would be real when he was really young, apparently.
Yeah, maybe he was just, I don't know Terry and the Pirates well enough to
Yeah.
be able to tell you. I'm going to find out
Well,
while we're talking.
he's got sort of game show host, sportscaster. I mean, he comes off to me like a sportscaster. He has that sort of amiable ex-jock air about him. I think sort of like Fred Dryer. If Fred Dryer was like a really nice guy, maybe or something comes to mind. Because in the show, he comes, as a game show host, he comes off very, very affable. It seems like.
Yeah,
to me.
he's just sort of more physically imposing than your average
Yeah.
game show host.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, but he's definitely having fun and
Yeah, he seems pretty laid back. He has a good rapport with the contestants and with the supporting characters who.
of course is square jawed
Yes.
and
So,
maybe I'm making this up about.
well,
No, these are all his self.
yes, we're delving deep into the crack research team is investigating
Yeah.
the resume of Ron Ely,
He
who
directed Tarzan.
is still with us, I believe.
Hey, he was in South Pacific. He's with us. Father Knows Best, one episode.
Father Knows Best.
Oh, excuse me, it wasn't Terry Pirate, it was Steve Canyon.
Ah, Steve Canyon.
Played
Okay.
Pete Randall in Steve Canyon in 1959.
Okay, another.
So most of his early credits
Same
are really
cartoonist.
late 50s.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he was on Dobie Gillis. Just
So he had an acting career that was never like a superstar, but a pretty successful work. He had a good run on Tarzan, and at this point in his career, he's an affable former actor with with still some degree of his youthful good looks, I guess, and kind of paid to be a game show host, and he seems to me he fits that role very well.
Yeah.
He's joined by Tommy Oliver and his orchestra, who has a nice little flair about him.
Yeah.
And Lisa Donovan is the singer. So the premise of Face the Music, it's sort of like Name the Tune. Essentially, contestants have to guess what the tunes are based on a few bars of the song, whether it be sung by Lisa Donovan or more often performed by Tommy Oliver and his orchestra. And Face the Music, there's a little twist because usually the song titles that contestants guess are there to provide clues to some larger puzzle, to identify some person. So that adds a little bit of an extra element to the game, I guess.
Right. And so the first round, they also showed pictures of a number of famous people.
Yes.
And then they had to match the picture with the song.
Yeah, they flashed them 8 faces, and then
Yeah.
you get to see them, and then the song comes, and then you associate the song, yes, with the person that you saw.
So Jeepers Creepers was Boris Karloff.
Yes.
And I might misname the tune, and then I'll get docked a point here. But Me and My Shadow, was that the...
Yeah, that's exact.
It was Ken Howard from the White Shadow,
Yeah.
former from another episode of the Battle of the Network shows, of course.
Yes.
Fan favorite here.
I
Ken
believe
Howard.
he was a baddie nominee.
I believe he was.
Best
Yeah.
male performer.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw his picture and got a little excited.
Yeah.
Now, what in 1980? So that would have been when White Shadow was on.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the format of this kind of show is people are trying to guess, and so Tommy, play the next song, and then you hear da 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 da, and then somebody will Jeepers Creepers, and they'd be all enthusiastic about it. So it's very cheesy, especially now. But
Yeah.
that's the way they did game shows back then. They had sort of didn't have, what's the word I'm looking for? They didn't have as much dignity as they do today. Now, granted, you've got reality TV and you've got some silly game shows, but it's not something like Sober Like Jeopardy, or even... You're encouraged to be enthusiastic on game shows today, but this is kind of a different thing. You have people from all walks of life.
Right.
The contestants don't seem to be as coached as they are today. They don't seem to be necessarily selected for polish, so much as maybe somebody that would be entertaining or come off on TV. But to me, watching these reruns, and it's been a while since I've watched a lot of them, but even growing up, one thing that stood out is how awkward a lot of these contestants are. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily in these ones we watch today, but there's a lot of them that just seem like there just seems something off about something.
Right. So in this, we had a man and 2 women, right?
Yes. And plus the format is the returning the champion only plays in the bonus round.
Right.
So you have 3 people playing, and then it goes from 3 to 2, and then 2 to 1, and then that person goes on to play the champion in a very short bonus round, I guess.
And in those second and third rounds, they didn't have the picture thing. They named the tune and they had to try to guess a person.
Yes.
Which, I don't know, the guy who was doing well, he had some impressive guesses there.
He did, yeah.
I mean, maybe he just got lucky. There was a Babe Ruth one.
Yeah, he got that after 2.
Yeah, and it's well, that could be any.
There's something about swing and hit. I mean, they're baseball.
Right.
Yeah, they're baseball-related sort of song titles, but it could have been any player. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe swing is the hint that it's a Sultan of Swing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but.
And actually, I'm glad you said that, because they did not play the song Sultans of Swing.
SWAT. It was Sultan of SWAT.
Yeah, they did not play Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits. And most of these songs are more standards, I think it's fair to say. There's some contemporary... There's a good deal of contemporary songs in there.
There are a couple Beatles songs in there.
There's a pretty wide breadth of music is represented in this show, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, songs that go back all the way, to Tin Pan Alley songs, it seems like. And I guess to modern day, there's Beatles in there, so...
Waterloo by the ABBA, right?
Yeah. So today, if they did a show like that, it would be all contemporary. They wouldn't dare go back.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they would go to the 60s or something, but you wouldn't have standards and things like that.
No.
It seems like
No.
it's too old.
Yeah.
But these game shows were appealing to a certain demographic, and they didn't worry about whether 5 or 6 year olds like me were watching it. I don't recognize any of these songs.
But see,
Why don't they play Yankee Doodle?
You were getting educated.
I was. This is how I got my musical education, through watching Ron Ely.
Your well-known love of standards.
Oh, yeah. Have I mentioned, folks, that my standards album is coming out? I'm calling it All the Best by Rick Brooks, soon to be available. But I don't want to plug that here. It's neither the time nor place.
Right.
Well, it might be the place, but not the time. So anyways.
Yeah.
So Face the Music, and one thing that I found interesting about Face the Music too is talking about how kind of low rent it is. Several times, if you notice, Ron Ely, he's got a pretty good handle of what's going on, but he actually has to bend over to see the scores of the contestants. He doesn't have anybody in his earpiece telling him. He's got to actually make an effort to step aside and lean over to see what the score is, so that he can tell the contestants what the scores are. It seems a little weird.
Right. And once he said that Lisa was going to sing.
Yeah.
And then, oh, no, I guess she's not.
Yeah. And he kind of chuckled about it. I mean, he didn't have a big blow up, or
No.
at least not on camera.
No, and the audience chuckled about it. It was all good fun.
I can't imagine Alex Trebek handling that with such grace. I don't think he'd be so nonchalant about that kind of. Because I don't know if it was his screw up or if somebody like gave him a miscue or.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't blame it. He didn't throw anybody else under the bus. He just kind of laughed about it, and that's the thing. He seems to be, chuckling about everything. One of the contestants introduced herself as a belly dancer.
He was excited about that.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, it's very glad to have you here."
Yeah.
But he kind of said it with, in a charming way,
Right.
not a lecherous way.
No, but he brought it up a couple times.
He did, later. He did. Now he's a little smoother than Richard Dawson. He does his he did his matchmaking with himself. He did that off camera, probably. He didn't do it on camera.
Right.
It was the smoother move for Ron Ely. So what'd you think of Face the Music, Mike?
Well, other than my irrational.
Yeah. What do you think of it now, watching
Now.
it? You still kind of have the feeling that, I mean, now you're watching it for this podcast,
I had a
so hopefully
purpose.
you didn't think that you were wasting your time.
No, I didn't. I kind of enjoyed it. Telling you right before we started, some of this might have to do with the quality of the video that we were watching. I didn't realize Tommy had an orchestra at first. The music sounded a little bit just like a synthesizer. So maybe the recording quality on that wasn't great either. But then I saw, and his orchestra is like 6 guys or something.
It's not huge,
no.
But it's apparently legitimate musicians.
Yeah, well, the guy you mentioned, I think, is the guy whose son did the Wrecking Crew
Yes.
movie. Yeah.
That is correct, and a very prolific guitarist.
So, and if you don't know, the Wrecking Crew is kind of like a nickname for a group of the studio musicians who did a lot of the work in L.A. in the 60s and 70s, even on things where you think it's a band playing. It was really these guys that are great musicians.
Mm-hmm.
They played a lot of the Phil Spector stuff and Beach Boys, not the vocals, but the musical stuff, especially, the more complicated things like Pet Sounds, and, movie scores and all sorts of things. So there's a documentary about them that's really cool. It's on, I think it's on Netflix.
And the keyboard player, I can't remember his name offhand, but he's an accomplished musician, and it was wrote film scores and
So
everything.
Tommy was just conducting?
Yes, I believe he was. But Tommy Oliver had a long career. I mean, he was like a legitimate musician too. I mean, this wasn't just it wasn't a fake band, and it would be pretty funny though now that, because they do introduce Tommy Oliver and his orchestra at the beginning. It would be funny if Tommy Oliver and his orchestra was just Tommy Oliver with like you said, some kind of
like
synthesizer
an organ
doing
or something.
That'd be pretty cool. And then Lisa Donovan, boy, she does everything with gusto, doesn't she?
She's a belter.
Yeah. And she puts like little twists on like her phrasing in the songs and everything. Like she doesn't do it quite the way it necessarily is on record.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she only gets like
twice.
Like a few snippets or whatever. And then sometimes she'll say, most of the time she'll say like the real words of the lyrics, but sometimes she'll just go la 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 la, and then which is incredibly cheesy.
Yeah.
But she's always got like a big smile and peppy, and she's still around and
that shows also by a little bit of the cheapness, because they're clearly crammed in a pretty small space.
Yeah.
Like when she's singing, it almost looks like she's just like sitting on the edge of the stage.
Yeah. Yes.
Like there's no room for her.
Yeah, she can't.
In the orchestra area.
She can't go around and vamp, and it's probably just as well that she only gets to sing like 3 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
Because there's not a whole lot she could do, but.
Right.
But I don't know. There's just something about the interplay between the host and the thing, everything, and the theme song. It's very peppy.
Yeah.
But it's just very generic at the same time.
Right.
It could be like a theme for any of those game shows of that era. It sticks in your head.
So the final round, the champion round, where you meet the champion, and you have the competition. It starts with they have pictures going through sort of, at least in this case, the life of the person they're trying to guess. And the more pictures that show up, the less there is to win.
Right.
So it starts out with like $10,000 in cash and prizes.
If you get like from the baby picture and like the first song, then you can get $10,000.
Right. And that's kind of cool, because they're like TV shaped.
Yeah.
But then it's clearly just a piece of wood being slid
Yeah,
up to
exactly.
reveal the picture.
Yeah, it's not high tech at all.
No, there's some crew guy back there.
Yeah, and I'm sure like it didn't happen this episode, but I'm sure that it got stuck multiple times. And maybe that usually didn't make air, maybe, but
Right. Oh, we got to sand that down.
yeah.
a little bit.
I mean, we do get the portions not affecting the game have been edited. Disclaimer.
Yeah.
This is probably on all game shows, but most of the time, I imagine they kind of went live to tape on these whenever possible.
The answer was Franklin Roosevelt.
Mhm.
I didn't get how the songs revealed that at all.
Well, actually,
I guess then I started with Anchors Away.
yeah, for his Navy background.
Yeah.
He was like secretary. Yeah, and
Right.
it was like, brother, can you spare a dime? Because
Yeah.
he's on the dime.
That's right.
You may have been caught up in the euphoria of the exciting
It was
finish.
hard to hear because he was explaining
Yeah.
them, but it was hard
But
to
and he did, yeah, because the orchestra was playing. I
Yeah.
think Tommy Oliver and his orchestra
Right.
were playing, and yeah, he did kind of go through, and
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite parts of any game show, is when the host has to kind of double back and explain all the. I just
Yeah.
for some reason, that always satisfies me, and something's just incomplete when they don't mention that. So I like it when they
Right.
take the time to. And I like the thought that they'll get tons of crank letters, from people complaining if they don't, and they have to do that to stave off, or maybe the FCC would get involved in.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's the thing, like a consequence of the quiz show scandals, that they had to give the answers.
Yeah, we haven't touched on that. Do you think Face the Music is legit? You don't think that was rigged, do you?
It didn't seem, other than that Babe Ruth answer.
Yeah. The guy seemed to have the
A couple of
answers pretty
those.
quickly on a few of those.
Yeah. But then, especially that pre-champion round,
Yeah.
like he and the former belly dancer, they were kind of tanking there.
Yeah.
They just couldn't. Well, first of all, she was way down. Like, and every scores were 30 points there, so there was a possibility. But I mean, she was already down like 100 to 30,
Yeah, it was.
and then he got one. It's like, she's got to nail all of these, and
Yeah.
they just weren't getting either the songs or the answer.
The game was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
The guy
No.
pretty much ran away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the champion round was competitive enough. I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, it took them
It went pretty
until
much to
a picture of FDR in his, maybe not his youth, but
Yeah.
his early middle age or something. But enough where I wasn't entirely sure it was him.
They pretty much did everything except, it rhymes with F-A nar. Ronnie Lee coughing. Anybody? Come on.
We've got a new deal for you here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was again, fairly fast-paced.
Yeah.
This one clocks in at about like 22 minutes, the version we watched, under 22 minutes, and that was back in a time when I thought, most television was 2 or 3 minutes
Yeah. Probably
longer, and I don't think anything was cut for this, so
Yeah. Syndication probably was
yeah,
shorter.
they crammed in those
And
ads.
you got to get in, your 5-minute KTEL record ad.
Yeah. Now there could be there could be on some of these some promotional consideration spots that maybe are missing, but yeah, because you actually made a good point that cash and prizes.
Right.
It's not necessarily they put the big numbers up there and then they kind of say you could win $10,000 in cash and prizes.
Yeah.
Or a combination. So
And I think the previous champion, I mean, she had like, he said, I think she had like a good amount of cash.
yeah.
Like 10,000 in cash that she had won already, and another 4,000 in prizes.
Yeah, they could manipulate, and that's one of the cool thing about these game shows is, they're getting the promotional consideration, so they're offering these prizes they're getting them a break, from the people, so they're not really
Wholesale.
paying for their prize budget.
Right.
They don't have a big prize budget, and they're using the super inflated retail price to add to that towards the value of the show. So
Right. Which really is going to come up in Sale of the Century.
yes. So yeah, that's another kind of cool thing about, especially these old game shows. But
Yeah.
Face the Music is definitely one I remember. I don't even know why I watched it, to be honest.
Right.
It was on. I don't think I sat there and watched it, but I would be doing like other things and just sort of have this kind of thing on as background. What else was I gonna do?
I don't know. Play.
Well, okay. Let's
around.
let's posit that I'm not going to play outside. I've already done that in the morning. I'm going in, taking a break, and relaxing with
Or
some
maybe
game shows.
the weather's bad.
Yeah. What else am I going to have on the TV at that time of day? Because I didn't watch soap operas.
Right.
Maybe on some of the cable networks there might have been some like old reruns of other stuff, but
Yeah, cartoons probably weren't on yet
Yeah.
that time of day.
I mean the thing about these is they are good background because you don't have to get too invested in them.
Yeah.
They're not challenging. You don't have to pay attention too closely. I mean, if you're really invested in the sort of competitive aspect, but again, I don't think it's necessarily like Jeopardy where you're watching and trying to show off to your friends or yourself how smart you are.
Right. Yeah, and I'll admit I was kind of walking around and doing,
Aha!
getting ready, getting the recycling ready to take out and stuff. But as I told you, I answered one of the questions
Yeah.
before the contestants did.
Yeah.
The answer was Atlas.
Yeah. Well, it's very impressive.
That was one that had a Beatles song in it too.
Yeah.
Carry That Weight.
Carry that weight, yes. Yes. So, yeah, Face the Music, fun little show. I think it's really one of the cheesier examples of this whole era, really. But there's a whole lot of other ones that, just to name check some of the ones that I remember being on, Joker's Wild, Tic-Tac-Toe.
Sure.
Then probably some less famous ones like Play the Percentages. There's some weird one, Bullseye. These things, and I mentioned Make Me Laugh being on. I was a fan of that. That might be something we want to talk about in the future. Which they did a remake with the last one. They did a couple remakes, but they did one with Ken Ober from Remote Control, the late Ken Ober, I believe. Mm-hmm. And something was different about it. I think when they did it for Comedy Central or whatever. But the older one had a charm. It had Gary Shandling was on it a lot, and the Unknown Comic.
Oh wow.
Bobby Van was the host on Make Me Laugh, and just the whole thing was you'd have a contestant trying to sit stone-faced for a certain amount of time while the resident comedians, I think Bruce Baum was another one, and Bill Kirkenbauer probably was on that, who we've discussed in another episode as well. And they'd all come out and take turns trying to make some guy laugh, or some guy or woman, of course, laugh. And again, totally cheap concept.
My hair.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a good Gary Shandling impression.
But he would do like stuff from. They'd just come out and do stuff from their act.
Right.
And usually, as I remember on Make Me Laugh, a lot of it was like the people that would get the laughs would be like, you have guys come out and do stuff from their set. These brilliantly crafted jokes, but they maybe only get like 2 jokes out in 30 seconds. And then somebody would come out like with an arrow in their head, or do prop comedy and get the guy to break after 2 minutes of other comics failing with actual jokes.
And it seems like to me that the people who maybe were encouraged to go on by their family, like it's almost the opposite of you hear about comedians and say, oh, you should try stand up, you're so funny, that kind of thing. This is like the opposite, like the one person who never laughs.
Oh yeah, right.
Like, oh, you should go on, you'll win at this.
You're basically telling them they don't have a sense of humor.
Right, yeah.
You're a humorless
you're a grump.
Yeah, you're a humorless grouch. Why don't you go on this show? Make some money off your unpleasant nature.
Right. And maybe like other comedians could have gone on as contestants because they're there's notorious for not laughing, just saying, "Oh, that's funny."
Yeah.
So
like Lorne Michaels or somebody going on. Oh yeah, I won't do the Lorne Michaels.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Make Me Laugh is another one, and I just kind of rattled off a bunch, but yeah, that was CBN, which just to touch on real briefly, Christian Broadcasting Network. Pat Robertson and it was a nonprofit organization that syndicated religious programming, and eventually they started the CBN cable network, which was one of the first cable networks that I got in my area, and in that era as well. But they, in addition to the religious and quasi-religious programming, they showed a lot of old westerns back in the 80s, probably stuff like Cisco Kid and things like that, and maybe Bonanza. Everybody else showed it, so they might as well too. But at night, they had like a late night classic TV block where that's where I learned about Jack Benny Show, Burns and Allen, Love That Bob, Bachelor Father. I mean, all these kind of shows that after CBN went off the air, they didn't see them for years. Even Nick at Night and TV Land didn't touch a lot of those shows. So it was good. You Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx.
Yeah.
I think the early 1970s Bill Cosby Show, the sitcom where he was a gym teacher, that was on there. So CBN was actually like a great channel, one of the best channels ever. And I really kind of missed those days.
And it morphed into the Family Channel, right?
Yes, it morphed into the Family Channel.
Then became ABC Family.
Became like Fox Family.
Fox Family.
Then ABC Family. Then
Freeform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think probably still shows the 700 Club as like the one legacy,
Right.
like in perpetuity. They have to show that. It's part of like the sale deal.
Yeah.
Really meshes well with some of the other programming.
Right.
So yeah, that channel has morphed many times over the years, but I think of it, CBN, it was a classic TV channel before there were classic TV channels. It was, to me, it was like, oh, this great nostalgia channel that showed stuff that nobody else did, and I have good memories of my dad and I staying up pretty late and watching some of these old shows. Okay. Not Face the Music, though. I don't think my dad would have touched Face the Music with a 10-foot pole. He would probably be ashamed of me if he I'm glad he had a day job where he didn't have to see his son at home watching Face the Music when he could have been doing anything else, really.
Well, my dad was on it. No, he wasn't. He just was home sometimes.
Well, at least he wasn't sitting there watching Face. That would maybe be the saddest of all.
No, he wouldn't have been into that. I mean, although later, as many people of a certain age do, he got into that Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy cycle.
Yeah, I mean, well, it seems like after the game shows moved from daytime television and reruns, it became like a early evening kind of deal or after dinner thing, and that's what a lot of people think of probably now when they think of game shows, except for like some of the higher profile network ones, and like there's revivals in recent years of some of the older ones like Match Game and things like that, and people keep trying to bring those back. You had Millionaire. People keep trying to bring back the primetime game show, but it's never going to be like it was, back in the 1950s when you had the panel shows and everything like that. But
so should we move on to Sale of the Century, or as you might call it, $ Ale of the century?
Yeah, let's move on to dollar sign ale
That's
of the century.
You gotta love a $ as an S.
Yeah, it shows class.
Yeah.
Some of our favorite shows have done that. Am I right?
Yeah.
Vegas.
Arliss.
Yep. That's enough.
Yeah.
So Sale of the Century joins that pantheon of great programming.
Yeah.
Now, this show, I legitimately like this game show, and
Right.
I think it holds up. I think it's one of the best game shows of all time. It's a little underrated. I think it's great. I think Jim Perry is definitely one of the most underrated hosts, and I definitely respond. I like the speed of it, some of the gimmicks of it. It consists of mostly people answering trivia questions, but because of the bargain aspects and sort of the wheeling dealing, you get some more elements to it.
Right. And so as you alluded to earlier, not too long ago with friend of the show, Dan, we stumbled on an episode of this on the buzzer, and neither of us had really seen it before, and it seemed like the host was making up the game as he went along. There was the trivia part that made sense, but the rest, okay, now I'm going to sell you a thing. Oh, now there's this board. Now this is going on.
Yeah, it's like
now
Calvin
it's
and Hobbes
round.
playing Calvin Ball or something.
Yeah.
Well, I could see how you'd think that.
And that's it. So you're saying that even this 1985 is fairly early into it?
Yes, it's early into this incarnation.
There was an earlier. I think
yes,
so. The one
it started as a foreign show that was imported to the United States. And this was 1985 or 1986.
I think it was 85.
Yeah.
And so the one we saw, I don't know when it was. It was definitely the 80s, but in terms of what people were wearing, it looked like sort of that period where still transitioning from the 70s to the 80s. Like, it surprised me that it was the 80s.
Yeah.
Because there was a guy like in a powder blue suit and stuff.
Yeah. Well, if it was.
But this episode we watched is like squarely. Like, everything about it is 80s.
Yeah, yeah. Jim Perry, I think, was doing Card Sharks like in 79, 80. So,
okay.
So yeah, this is a few years after that, but a very entertaining show, I believe.
Yeah.
And it moves. And I think the host has a lot of leeway in this.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they start out there, they get $5 a question.
Right.
Or for getting a correct answer, they lose $5 if they miss it. And in later years, they did tweak that and change the dollar amounts and things like that. But that's essentially what it is. And then every so often you get the instant bargain where there'll be a nice little chime and musical cue, and then Jim Perry will throw it to usually the hostess, Summer Bartholomew, and there'll be some kind of skit, and they'll introduce some kind of item that the contestant in the lead can buy. So in this one they have a watch that I think they say it's a retail value of $300, and they're offering it for $5 at first.
Yeah.
And there's two people, they're tied. Renee and Christy are tied.
Yeah.
and neither one of them pulls the trigger. But then Jim Perry kind of goes over, and this is one thing I liked about the show is like, oh, nobody opting to buy it, and he's kind of asking them, your husband. He actually asked Christie's husband in the audience, Christie's husband, could you use a watch? And he's kind of trying to actually sell them on it, which is very interesting.
Right, and it didn't happen in this one, but that other one, the people were not buying at all, and so he had to do a lot of begging. He's like, I got to make a deal today.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's some pressure on him,
Right.
like like he needs to make his commission or something.
Right, and every now and then he throws in. He's like, okay, if you're not interested in this, what if I threw in $200 in cash?
Right.
And then, and they have to dramatically, hit the buzzer, like sold, or if they don't, like no sale. He'll do the going once, going twice, no sale. But every now and then he'll do the going once, going twice. What if I threw in, And he'll in this one in the watch, he knocked down the price from $5 to less than the value of one question, $3, and that was enough to get Renee to buzz in and give her husband a watch, which I'm sure made him very happy.
And there are also things sometimes that they don't know about.
Yes.
Like in another one that Christie didn't buy, there was also a wallet full, like with $800 in it.
Yeah, which really made it pretty nice. I think was that the living room table or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he kind of rubbed it in there. And he's
Right.
like, oh. They don't reveal that until the secret.
Yeah.
Whatever. They don't reveal that until after somebody buys or doesn't buy it. So there's that, and then periodically they'll have, I guess, the fame game. No, the fame game is they'll have the round where they have to hit the buzzer, and there's electronic things, kind of like the press your luck thing, with the
board,
flashing LED display, and they've got 9 or 10 numbers,
Right.
and they want to get like the dollar value, which is added to their score.
Yeah.
But if they don't get $5, $10, or $15, which is added to their score, then they might get like $100 or something like that.
Yeah, I think whoever got that got like $500.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So yeah, the thing flips around and there's some prize. I assume maybe some of them don't have a prize.
Yeah, there's sort of an interesting element of strategy because you can see like when they're bidding and stuff, they don't want to lose points. Like Christie had a big lead at one point, I think, in that table, and didn't want to give up any points.
And can't they bank that over the course of, she was a returning champion. Can't they like bank it over each time they return, like not buy anything in the final round?
Oh, in the final round. I'm talking about the instant bargains. Yes,
but I mean just as a thing.
Yeah, no, that's something that they changed too. That
Okay.
they kind of they one of the things they kept tinkering with, like in this one, they had already changed the format because I think originally, like in this one, she's playing like she had the big wall,
Right.
the big board where she's basically trying to win a car.
Yeah.
However, before there was kind of like a Wheel of Fortune-ish round where you'd go shopping.
Yeah.
Conveniently getting lots of product placement in there. And everybody can learn about the great products that were being offered. But yeah, so Sale of the Century was definitely one of my favorites. Jim Perry was the man. He was good.
Yeah, he's exciting.
He's constantly enthusiastic, and another thing that I think is an underrated characteristic of game show hosts is the ability to sort of acknowledge wrong answers without kind of rubbing it or being a jerk about it.
Yeah.
And he definitely had that. I mean, he'd have fun with things sometimes.
Right.
But he would always point out though things like that, and that miscue will cost you. But he just kind of did it in that always on way. It's hard to imagine Jim Perry not being on in that kind of game show mode, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just seems like he goes around through everyday life kind of in that mode, and
Right.
and more power to him. I hope that he did.
And even he had a little fun with Summer's dress.
Yeah.
Which is like a white and black, like black. Well, everything was kind of splotches, but he made a joke about it being like, oh, she still couldn't get the ink off that dress or that white dress or something like that.
Yeah, and there was the one little sketch where they had they had a guy sitting with two women on a bench or something, and he just sort of made a reference like, two women visiting from the Mensa Society.
Yeah. Well, it was the Miami.
Yes,
the Miami trip.
It was the Miami. Yeah.
The guy was dressed in like Miami Vice type clothes. The Miami Vice theme song was playing.
Yes, thank you NBC, I guess.
So he was at a bench at a bus stop. The two women, they were in like short shorts and t-shirts, and maybe because of the Miami Vice part of it, I at least thought they were maybe undercover cops.
Okay, and what were they undercover as?
Tourists.
Tourists?
Yeah.
Huh? Why would they?
Golden Girls.
I don't quite get you. Why would they be? What information could you get posing as a tourist?
How to get to the beach?
Something feels like you're holding out.
How to have a party?
Yeah, okay, now we're getting warmer. It feels like Trudy and Gina, when they went undercover, it's the kind of outfits they might wear when they went undercover on Miami Vice.
Right.
And
But it is Miami, so,
Well, wait a minute.
Which is just meaning that, it's warm and people often wear less clothing there.
True.
Like if you saw, that outfit in Buffalo,
Yeah.
you might suspect that the profession is not, legit.
Yeah, it would stand out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, without the music, without the Miami Vice connection, and without Jim Perry making that sarcastic comment, I don't think I would have necessarily thought that. I would have just thought, they're dressed like 80s, young 80s women or something like
that.
Right.
They just come from the roller disco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like they're sitting there, snapping gum and water, gazing into space aimlessly. But Jim Perry makes that comment. Oh, visitors from the Mensa Society. That wouldn't fly today.
Yeah.
But that did catch me off guard.
Of course, with that prize, they didn't go for it. Christy didn't go for it, but she also could have gotten a suitcase full of cocaine.
Yeah, exactly. She really missed out on that one.
Yeah. For only $5, a trip to Miami, a wallet with $800 in it, and a suitcase full of cocaine.
Yeah. Actual street value of that cocaine. Christy somehow she resisted.
Yeah, and even though Christy's husband was in the audience, she did make a joke about being able to go out on a date with Don Johnson if she went on the trip.
Yeah, hey. I'm sorry, that is not part of the deal, Christy. What if I threw in Philip Michael Thomas? And I should mention, I'm praising Jim Perry, but he does make a rare miscue at the end of this game.
Oh.
When he's announcing the winner, and it's very brief, but he starts to announce Renee as the winner.
Oh, whoa.
When actually it was Christy.
Yeah.
And Jim Perry is a class act and a true pro. He apologized several times after that. He knew as soon as he did it, oh, I'm so sorry. And then afterwards he was kind of put his arm around her and said, because I think it did startle Christy to have Renee's name read as if she was the winner.
Right.
So it was not Jim Perry's finest moment, but he recovered very, very well, I thought.
So you mentioned it in the lightning round at the beginning, but so Renee tells us at the beginning that she's a cartoon voiceover actress, and she does a Wicked Witch of the West from the Wizard of Oz voice. But we looked her up, or we both did, obviously, and she's famous for being the voice later of April O'Neil on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
The male guest, Tom, or Thom, this is my theory about him, just based on two things. One, his outfit. So, he had on a suit jacket and a skinny tie, but he had the cuffs pushed up on the suit jacket.
Okay.
And then he only answered two questions.
Yeah.
Both of them were comedy related.
I hadn't noticed that.
One was Mel Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the other one was, but and my theory is that he was a stand-up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a very interesting theory. Now, do you remember, did they introduce him as
an
occupation?
No. And he told a wacky story
That's right.
about driving off from the gas station with the hose still in the tank.
Yes, this is one of the shows where, as the banter, they'll introduce, Summer brings him out, and she'll give, a little line, he had a recent, the last time he'll ever do self-service.
Self-service.
Yeah. These little, teaser hints, and then Jim Perry, so, Tom, I understand, and then the contestant tells the funny story or interesting item about themselves, and then, so it's that kind of deal, yeah.
Right.
Which, again, is just another cheesy thing about game shows. And normally I hate the chatter between hosts and contestants. I don't want to hear them.
Right.
But if it's brief and contained to one sentence or two like this, then I'm in favor of it. But that's a very interesting theory that he was a stand-up comedian. We should look into that, perhaps.
Right in the middle of the comedy boom there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't catch his last name though.
No, neither did I.
I have to watch it again.
Yeah.
So Christy won a car.
She did.
Not just a car, an Audi.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed by that, especially because the car on Face the Music was a Datsun.
Right. They made a big deal out of that too. They sure did. Yeah. Well, that's a syndication budget versus a network budget, I guess, right? Yeah. Well, I guess they saved money from all the contestants not buying the actual stuff. I mean, maybe they sold, they hawked all that merchandise that they couldn't pawn off on the contestants.
And weekends, they had
raised some
sale
funds.
of the century yard sale.
Yeah.
Come down to the Burbank Studios.
Hey, I'd gladly take Jim Perry to host my yard sale. He'd move that stuff.
He would.
One way or another.
Yeah.
Of course, he'd probably throw in everything else in your house.
Well, you made $50 today.
Yeah.
But you got rid of all the stuff. Well,
Yeah.
had to make some deals.
Yeah, and where's my flat screen TV?
Yeah.
I had to throw that in order for them to take the armoire. What? Yeah. So, yeah, she wins the car, and she's genuinely emotional about it.
Yeah.
She's in tears and very happy. Kind of refreshing, really, to see this kind of...
Husband comes up on stage. They get in the car.
Yeah, they were really happy. That was...
They turn it on, and it explodes.
Yeah.
Weird ending.
And then, they strangely see the briefcase of cocaine, like, in the trunk. It was Calderon. Yeah, that was doesn't get much better than that. That was a nice happy ending to Sale of the Century.
Yeah.
Not the explosion part, but the winning the car part.
No one was injured in this filming of the episode.
No, they were not. Except possibly some poor stagehands backstage might have gotten some of Summer Bartholomew's hair product in their eyes when she was spraying out. Yeah. She was very classy, though.
Yeah.
And very composed and did a good job of what she did. Again, another underrated... all you hear about is Vanna White, but how about some love for Summer Bartholomew?
Yeah, we're giving it now.
Okay, that's enough, probably.
Right.
That should suffice. So, yeah, Sale of the Century, I was a big fan of that, and I enjoyed watching this episode. I'd watch another couple episodes every now and then, or if I stumbled upon it on Buzzer, I might sit down and watch it.
Yeah, I might. I mean, yeah. I'm not going to, just again, because of my allergy.
Yeah.
I might not seek it out, but I wouldn't necessarily turn it off. If I saw it.
I think the fast-paced nature of it, because like they keep going from, there's always like, there's music, the game moves quickly, and there's a lightning round at the end. But even the game, even with the instant bargains, it seems like there's always something going on. So to me, that was kind of, I don't know if I'd say ahead of its time, but it always seemed there's a lot more going on in that, just more fast-paced than other game shows of that day. Yeah. So that's why, one of the reasons I like Sale of the Century.
Alrighty. Game shows.
They're a thing.
They are.
This episode brought to you by the Game Show Association of America, reminding you that it just feels like you're wasting time. This episode also brought to you by Buzzertown for all your buzzer needs. This episode also brought to you by these and other prizes. Portions of this episode that didn't affect gameplay may have been edited for time.
Fun, all the shows A to Z and the facts. What's behind what you see? TV Guide, the whole world of TV. That's entertainment. The stars underneath all the glow and the news from the people who know. TV Guide, it's a fabulous show. So buy a TV Guide and read TV Guide. That's entertainment.
Hey, and now we're going to do another round of the TV Guide game. This is the game where we use Rick's vast collection of old TV guides to look back on TV from our era, but also have a little fun. So in this case, I'll be reading some listings to Rick, and he'll pick shows that he would watch or would have watched, and I'll try to guess what he picked.
Yes, the challenge is on.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm pumped up. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go with this TV Guide game.
Yeah. So we're going to be looking at a TV Guide from the Los Angeles area, October 27th. That's the date of the day. What is it? October 27th to November 2nd, 1984. Brooke Shields is on the cover, promoting something called Wet Gold.
Very 1984.
Very. She's standing on a boat of some kind, smiling, wearing a man's shirt and some white shoes.
Yes.
And it also promotes a story called Nuns, Priests, and Shattered Vows by Father Andrew Greeley.
Probably not going to be part of the Saturday morning.
No, but it's something starring the great David Morse and Valerie Bertinelli as a nun. I have a feeling they don't stick to their vows.
Yeah, I think that's probably where they're going with it. Yeah.
Especially since it's called Shattered Vows.
Yeah.
One or more of them.
Excellent sleuthing there.
Yeah.
You know your television.
Something called Shirley Kojak didn't need 4 lavish coats. A former executive producer says pampered stars and wasteful ways are a threat to studios, networks, and TV miniseries. And there's some cool artwork of Telly Savalas in a fur coat.
Back in 1984, rampant costs.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to look at Saturday morning rather than prime time. We've usually done prime time. So we're going to do 8 in the morning to 11, so the 8, 9, 10 o'clock hours. But just a few things on the hour before that, just for your knowledge, included Saturday Supercade, Snorks, Little Rascals, Real Little Rascals, not the cartoon. There was a cartoon, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Super Friends.
Ooh.
Yeah. And Good Day LA, Sesame Street, some other stuff. Something called Toddler's Friends. Window on Computers.
That's the equivalent of the EI shows that we have to sit through today on Saturday morning.
ESPN. Pool.
Ah, nice.
Robert Woods versus Irving Crane in the 3rd annual Legendary Pocket Billiard Stars competition.
Ooh, that would sell out any casino in the country. That event.
Yeah. Also at 7:30 included Pink Panther and Sons.
Yeah.
And Youth and the Issues.
Boring.
Yeah. So some of those other shows, the Supercade and Super Friends were like an hour.
So yeah, there's Saturday morning was wall to wall.
Yeah.
With the programming, even public affairs programming like Youth and the Issues, I'm sure was.
Right. Also, USA was showing something called the Scholastic Sports Arcade - My Instruction, or instruction is the type of thing. Dribbling with Eddie Jordan.
Dribbling with Eddie Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if that was future Washington Wizards coach Eddie Jordan.
Might be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Michael Jordan.
So here we go.
Okay.
8 a.m. On Channel 2, The Get Along Gang.
Get Along Gang.
Yeah. Channel 4, The Smurfs.
The Smurfs.
Yeah.
Long time a staple of NBC.
Channel 7, The Mighty Orbots.
The Mighty Orbots.
Yeah. And on Channel 5, an independent, that's KTLA, Three Stooges. Comedy, black and white.
Okay. Are these 8 to 8:30 or is this all 8 to 9? Because I'm wondering if...
Smurfs is the whole hour.
Okay.
On some of these other ones, no. So at 8:30 on Channel 2, Jim Henson's Muppet Babies.
Jim Henson's Muppet Babies.
Yeah. And...
as opposed to William F. Buckley's Muppet Babies.
On Channel 7, Turbo Teen.
Turbo Teen, okay.
And a different independent one, and is Channel 9, Davy and Goliath.
That may be, from looking at these, that may be WOR out of New York, I think, is in that listing.
Yeah. That sounds
which
right.
is one of my favorite channels growing up, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so that covers 8 to 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
9.
9 a.m.
On Channel 2, Pole Position.
Pole Position.
Channel 4 is still the Smurfs.
Still the Smurfs.
Still the Smurfs.
That's
yeah.
a lot of Smurfs.
It is. Channel 7, Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's
Based
Lair.
on the video game Dragon's
Yeah.
Lair. On Channel 5, speaking of video games, Starcade.
Video games were very popular at this time.
Yeah. And Channel 9 had the new Zoo Review.
The new Zoo Review.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just more information. Some of the SWAT reruns of SWAT and Bewitched were on it around that time too.
SWAT.
Yeah.
SWAT was on at 9 a.m. Saturday morning.
Yep.
So if you're watching the Smurfs or whatever, you're not in the mood for cartoons. Let's switch on over to SWAT.
Right.
With your bowl of sugar smacks, you're sitting there. Just the thing to kick off your weekend if you're a 6-year-old kid sitting there eating breakfast. Beautiful.
9:30, Channel 2, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, that fantasy sorcery thing going on there.
Yeah. I did tell you pole position on the previous
Yes,
one, right?
yes,
Yeah,
you
okay. And Channel 4, so the Smurfs are over now.
Finally.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Ooh.
Channel 7, New Scooby-Doo Mysteries.
One of the many Scoobies.
Back to Channel 5. Previously we had Starcade. This half hour, Video Game.
That's what it's called, video game?
Yep. Doesn't this even have a descriptor?
Huh.
Like Starcade had, dash game.
Interesting.
I don't know.
So I wonder. I predict right now that at 10 o'clock it's going to be followed by cartoon.
And some of the reruns on around that time include the Cimarron Strip and Get Smart.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, 10 on Channel 2.
Let's bring it home here for our Saturday morning.
Pryor's Place. And this actually has a description. Losing a saxophone teaches Richie a lesson in responsibility. Postpone from another date.
Postponed from another date.
Yeah, it got preempted by something.
What? Oh, you know what? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that show did get moved around a little bit, but
Channel 4 has something called Kid with 2 D's video.
Oh, okay, yes,
Music.
I remember that.
Channel 5 has Video Beat music.
Wow.
And Channel 7, Scary Scooby Funnies.
Scary Scooby Funnies.
Yeah.
Trying to get all they could out of that.
Yeah.
That lovable Scooby.
And okay, now at 10:30, Channel 2, Shirt Tales.
Shirt Tails.
Channel 4, Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Channel 5's America's Top 10 music. And Channel 7, The Littles.
The Littles, yes.
Yeah.
You and I are familiar with that show.
Yeah. And Channel 50, American Government. I'm
American
just
Government?
telling you that one.
Okay, 10:30.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a note of that.
All right. So that's the game. I'll tell you at 11, some of the things included Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Sold.
Yeah. Lauren Green's New Wilderness.
Sold.
Weekend Special.
Sold.
4 children find a path to the secret world of Og, a land populated by small green people. Part 1 of a 3-part cartoon. Repeat. Channel 9, Wrestling.
Sold.
Channel 11, Fame. You would need quite a DVR, maybe not for that.
I could do without Fame.
Channel 13,
That'll clear up some space.
Soul Train.
Ooh. All the good stuff's coming on.
Yeah. And
I'm pretty sure that this is WR, and that would have been WWF All-Star Wrestling probably on Channel 9 there, or coming from New York. So
at 11:30, yeah, they're done with kids shows, I think, because Channel 2 has NFL in Review.
NFL in Review on Saturday.
Weekend Review.
Just in time to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, just in time to talk about all of Sunday's games.
Right.
The day before a bunch of other new ones.
Channel 4 had Going Bananas.
Going Bananas. That's...
Comedy. Roxana finds a crystal ball that predicts the future. Severn Darden.
Severn Darden.
Now see at this new time.
He was like a bearded, played a lot of intellectual guys. That's interesting. That show sounds vaguely familiar. But, I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah. So, and college football and American Bandstand with Steven Stills and Primetime. Are they together?
I don't know.
Steven Stills.
Steven Stills in Primetime. He ditched those scrubs, Crosby and Nash, for Primetime.
Right.
He moved up to the big leagues.
Okay.
Well, we got a lot to go with here.
Yeah.
All right.
You're making your picks.
Actually, I should have been while you were you doing that, but I'm going to make my picks right now using our sophisticated technology that prevents you from seeing what my actual picks are.
Right.
I'm going to denote my picks right now. and try to read my writing. And okay, for as many now 11 o'clock there would have been a real tough dilemma for me, but I think I've made my choices pretty quickly. I think I don't necessarily have a lot of consternation when making these, but
Okay.
so I am ready. I have my
All right.
wait a minute. Ding. Okay, my selections are locked in. They cannot be modified now.
Okay. So you'll put X's or checks by the ones I get right. Right.
Yes,
Well, you'll somehow keep track of that.
I will. For
All
the
right.
integrity of the game.
8 a.m. I don't remember what the Get Along Gang is.
I can't remember if it was based on a toy. I think it was. Well, all I remember is the theme song that went something like, "Get along, gang, get along, gang, get along, gang." That's all I remember.
Oh, okay.
But it was pretty lame.
Yeah. Smurfs. I know you're not a huge fan of the Smurfs. I'm gonna guess Three Stooges.
That is
For
correct.
this half hour.
Yes, I definitely went with the Stooges.
Yeah.
And hopefully they just showed one episode and didn't try to cram two of them into one 30-minute time slot.
It's on for an hour.
But that's
so-
what they. Oh, it's on for an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good.
But I don't know if you chose it for the hour.
Well, that's.
I'll guess.
I was assuming it was from 8 to 8:30. Actually.
Okay. Yeah, that one was an hour. That's not WR. Channel 9 is not WR.
Oh,
because WR is listed
Okay.
on its
So I
own.
remember WR had been in one of those LA books. I stand corrected.
Well, it is in there. It's just listed as WR.
Okay, so this is a local Channel 9.
Yeah. Unless, WGN. They would list it as WGN. I think it's KHJ.
Okay.
Well, at 8:30, Davy and Goliath.
That is your pick?
Yep.
That is correct. Another one for you. Love Davy and Goliath.
Yeah, I know.
And, well, there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I
Okay,
just,
okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I might have thrown it in there.
Hey, you gaming the system. You're gaming the game?
Which Davy and Goliath would never do. Or they would do, and then they would learn a lesson about it.
Yes, they would see the error of their ways.
Right.
Davy and Goliath, yes. Three Stooges. I might actually flip over after the first Three Stooges and maybe check and see what Davy and Goliath are up to.
I think that would you at least check and
Yeah.
see what what's going on.
Yeah. It'd be a good combination, kind of balancing each other out a little bit, I think.
There's a Joe episode.
Yeah. I might be inclined to check out old Davy and his lovable mutt. So-
Now 9 o'clock. I don't know. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the New Zoo Review.
That is correct.
Oh, hey.
The New Zoo Review coming right at you. I did used to watch that. It was the availability of that was a little spottier in my area where I grew up, but I do remember seeing that. And I was not a big fan of those video game shows that are on at that.
I remember watching the Starcade one. Like that I kind of liked, but it was on at a different time, I think.
Yeah.
So that was one where people played video games against each other.
Yeah. A Pole Position, I remember that being a show, but I don't remember ever watching that.
remember
I don't know
anything about that.
if that was like a speed racer kind of deal or.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw any of that. So yeah, New Zoo Review was definitely my pick at 9. So you're 3 for 3.
Yeah. Dragon's Lair was such a frustrating game that I probably wouldn't watch the cartoon out of it.
Yeah.
And the animation is probably not as good as it is in the game. So. Yeah. So Dragon's Lair is the game that actually used like Don Bluth animation on Laserdisc or something.
Yeah, it was a very big deal at the time. It was much ballyhooed, but
Super hard to play.
didn't really deliver.
By the way, WR was running repeats of Voyagers at 9 a.m.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that shows maybe it's come up once or twice on our podcast.
Okay, so 9:30 we had the Dungeons and Dragons Alvin and the Chipmunks video game, and new Scooby-Doo mysteries. I'm assuming this is like the Scrappy-Doo era of Scooby. What is Scooby-Doo? Alvin and the Chipmunks.
And that's a half-hour time slot, I believe.
Yeah,
too,
it is.
not?
Because
Yeah.
there's a different Scooby show at the next half hour.
Yeah.
This is tough. I'm gonna choose what I would have been watching Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm feeling you didn't choose it.
I did not choose. I actually chose video game. No, I did not choose. I would have been You know, I would have checked at 9:30. I would have seen what it was at 9:31. I was tempted to pick Get Smart, but that seemed.
Yeah.
I probably would at the time. I would have been watching Alvin and the Chipmunks, and
Okay.
I kind of like that now, and I like that. That has a good theme song.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, that was 9:30, right?
Yes.
10, we had the Priors Place, Kid Video, Video Beat, and Scary Scooby Funnies. Yeah.
Scooby Funnies.
I don't remember that.
I love that title.
Yeah. I'm going to say the two video shows cancel each other out, and I'm going to go with Prior's Place.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I did watch that one when it was on. Even at the young age, I remember it being bizarre that Richard Pryor had a live action Saturday morning show.
Right. Yeah, I think I watched that a little bit.
Do you remember the theme song, "The Prior's Place"? Who sung that one? Whoa, let's get on over to Prior's Place. We're gonna laugh at our own mistakes.
No.
Ray Parker Jr.
Nice.
Prior's Place. Yes, you learn lessons and
Right.
from one of the best moral arbiters of our day, Richard Pryor.
He learned by experience.
He did. Yeah, he had a lot to teach everybody.
Yeah. Fire, about,
Yeah.
well, all sorts of things.
Yes.
And then went 10:30, Shirt Tales, Mr. T, America's Top 10, and The Littles, Mr. T.
You're ruling out American government?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was a wise move. So you're saying Mr. T?
Yeah, I'm saying Mr. T.
No, I would go with America's Top 10
Yeah, okay.
with my boy Casey Kasem.
Oh, that was Casey.
It's kind of like a rudimentary version, like a rushed version of his countdown. But I watched that. I seem to remember watching that every now and then. I was never a big fan of the Mr. T cartoon show, to be honest. So
Okay.
good guess, but
Yeah.
I'd go with Casey on that one.
All right.
So you did pretty well, though. You got,
Yeah.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 6.
All right.
That's 2/3.
I think that's pretty good.
That is good, and I think it was a great Saturday morning. When you combine 6 different stations
Yeah.
and throw everything together, you managed to find some decent things to watch. So
Right.
I'd say that's bravo for Saturday morning in 1984.
Yeah, and bravo to this Channel 9 for having things like the Stooges and Little Rascals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Davey and Goliath.
And Davey and Goliath.
Yuzu Review and
Yeah.
and wrestling at 11 and
Right.
Super Friends
So
was
that
on.
might have been some like off-brand wrestling too.
Yeah, which should make me even more likely to watch
West
it.
Coast wrestling. Or
Yeah.
something.
So, well played, I would say. Well played.
Nothing gets you into it like TV Guide.
Join us next time for another exciting episode of Battle of the Network shows. Learn more, leave feedback, and suggest future episodes at battleofthenetworkshows.com. Follow us on Twitter at BatNetShows and like our Facebook page, facebook.com/battleofthenetworkshows.
Studio audience has come to party with us and to receive Shasta, more taste, more pizzazz, more flavors than anyone has. Say it, I want a pop, I want a Shasta. And Sarah Coventry, for years a leader in fashion accessories, is now in retail stores. Sarah Coventry, fine jewelry to accent today's fashions. Plus true value, true trust, easy care paint for easy does it painting in 3 finishes and many decorator colors from True Value hardware stores. And active women choose today's girl pantyhose for sheerness, fit, and sensational new colors. Look for today's girl at fine department stores. Plus a Sears Wish Book gift certificate, over 600 pages of gift ideas for the whole family, especially kids. A Christmas catalog from Sears. Jim Perry's wardrobe, furnished by Botany 500. Summer Bartholomew's wardrobe, furnished by Barbara Barbara. Save of the Century stars Jim Perry. This is Jay Stewart speaking. Save of the Century is a Red Strandy production.